Good evening. Good evening, Facebook Live friends. I love you guys. Sending you so much love. I had a really wonderful weekend. It's Sunday evening, later than I'm usually on. I've been on later in the evenings. I've been inspired at night. I've been really thinking about a lot of ideas coming into my mind. I've been doing a lot of just journaling by hand. And I wanted to share some takeaways from some just really gentle takeaways from the weekend about what does it take to be a world-class speaker. I tend to be a little bit heavy, and I'm going to try to be a little bit lighter tonight. Hey, Gordon. Oh, beautiful. So good to see you. Emily, so good to see you too, babe. I love you. So I'm her aunt, so I mean, hello. Of course I love her. She's so beautiful. First off, I want to tell you what my first job was, though. The reason I am sharing is because I was getting on this live, and I took a bath, and I didn't really want to put makeup on or put something nice on. So I have this like shirt right here that's like fuzzy and soft. It's actually like kind of like a shirt I wear around the house, pajamas. Okay. So it's not like a super nice shirt. I usually like to wear something sort of decent on here. And then I thought I'll put a scarf around my throat or my neck and then tie it up real pretty. And then I looked down at the lessons about what does it take to be a world-class speaker. And what I realized was I was being inauthentic. Like, I really didn't want to wear that scarf around my neck. I really didn't want to put a bunch of makeup on my face. I didn't really put a bunch on, but I didn't really want to I just didn't want to. And I don't think it's okay. I think it's okay. I think it's totally okay. And so what I did, I was like, what? I want to put this in my hair. That feels great. And what I realized, it reminded me of my first job. My first job, the reason the scarf reminded me of my first job was because I was a car hop. I was a car hop at a place that served root beer and hot dogs and French fries and things like that. And we would set the trays on the window, and they would come up. And then on Friday nights, there were old cars that would come in, convertible bugs and vroom vroom muscle cars. And then a whole bunch of them, 100 or something, would go to the, there was like a Home Depot or something parking lot across the street. And they would all get together and look at the cars and dress up with cute and all that stuff on a Friday night, cute, So it was really cool. That was my, I was young. I wasn't partaking in that. I was 16. I was working at the root beer stand, serving root beer and hot dogs. And I think it's a really good segue into today. I didn't even realize that until right now in this moment. Hey, Lisa. Oh, Dominic. So good. I wonder, will you guys share with me, what was your first job? I'm so curious. I'm just wondering, hey, oh, so good to see you, cousin. Love you. What was your first job? Were you in retail? Or did you work for a family member? I mean, honestly, that was my first job where it was like legal on the books. I was selling blow pops in 8th grade, and I got in trouble, so I stopped doing that. I remember doing nails for friends in high school around prom and homecoming. I got this little nail set, and I would do my friends' nails, and they would give me some money. And I've always been like that. I used to buy clothes at a thrift store and sell them on eBay. I've always just had that entrepreneurial spirit where I'm just fascinated by ways to make money, because let's just be honest. There's money out there everywhere. It's just a matter of what can you provide for the world in return. Can you provide a lot? and this, scarf reminded my first job. And my first job, I remember the Nike tennis shoes I wore the 1 year out because I was like a boogie, and I'm a mover and a shaker. And hey, Gordon. Okay, so Gordon said burgers, French fries, and ice cream. Yeah, I totally had burgers, French fries, ice cream. Pork tenderloins too were so good. I worked at a drive-in restaurant when I was 14. Oh my goodness, so fun. So drive-in restaurant, like me. You were like me. But inside, you were like one of the insides people, right? And I was like a car. Were there people outside? I'm so curious, because that would be cool that you were like the inside person and I was the outside person, because I love those people. Oh, and we had to do dishes. The car hops had to do dishes, and I would always make friends with the fry guys and say, please, I love you, fry guys, whatever it takes. I'll tip you. I'll give you whatever. Please don't blow up the cheese sticks. Please don't blow up the cheese sticks in the fryer, because then they get on the stuff and it's hard to clean at night. So I would really make friends. And this is a lesson to be a world-class speaker. If you're going to be a world-class speaker, you need to hang around world-class speakers. It's just like anything. If you want to not have to scrub the mozzarella off of the fryer at the end of the night, if you're doing dishes, then be friends with the person who's associated with that particular fryer that night. That's my suggestion. It's not like manipulative. It's just a matter of honoring another person. And I would say that's what, okay, so Gordon said, yes, I was cooking and making shakes. Oh my God, root beer floats. The place that I worked made their own root beer. I can taste it now. Oh, it was a life-changing time in my life, because I grew up pretty poor. I grew up poor, and with parents who didn't give, didn't teach me about money, give me an opportunity to understand about money. So when I got this first job, I got tips. What do tips mean? The harder you work, the more you make. The nicer you are, the more service you provide, the more money you make. The more money I made, the more freedom I had. That's what I felt at home. I've never thought about this until this moment. So beautiful. Thank you. And that's why I love Facebook Live. So opening. So Gordon said, awesome. Yeah. What's up, Gary, my girl? So the question is this evening, what was your first job? I'm so curious, because, it takes, Gordon said he was working at 14 and then 15 and 18 at a full-time service gas station. Many people have been working for years and years. And I'm just curious, and it really, there's a level of integrity, a level of ethics, a level of morality even that forms within you when you work on something, when you work with other people. It evolves us as humans. And so, whether we're working for, mom and dad and just mowing the lawn in the neighborhood, whatever it is, I'm really curious just to hear. And what I learned this weekend about being a world-class speaker is it's really important to connect with people. Facebook Live, I love, because I feel connected with you. Like, I know you're at home. Like, I know what it's like to be on Facebook. I'm on there all the time. Like, me. Looking at my friends, all their cute babies and dogs and photos and exercise yoga things and inspirational. And then I would stop on that video that I'm like, whoa, that video. I love watching some of those videos. That are really inspirational and really, bringing something forward. And so to be a world-class speaker, so let me bring something forward. Instead of talking about my first job, let me bring something forward, because many of you might want to be a speaker, but many of you may want to just be a better communicator. I would say communication. I just talked about this last night, actually, about the Me Too movement and how, I really believe this two-way communication that's being brought forward is really beautiful. It's not easy. Okay. So it's only for the people who are willing to be a little uncomfortable, or maybe a lot uncomfortable, or somewhere in between, but willing to be uncomfortable at some point. And that's okay, because that's how we grow. We just know that. As Gordon said, both of those jobs allowed me to interact with the public. Ooh, yeah, as children, we don't really, we only have a certain level of interaction with, depending on what our parents, where we lived, what our parents did, what our family was like, what kind of, I didn't have much but home and school and sport, like activities, sports and stuff. So yeah, and when you get a job, all of a sudden you're like, what? There's all these kinds of people. I mean, all kinds of people like root beer and hot dogs, right? Like, in Ohio, like, there's not like an age group or race that doesn't like root beer and hot dogs. So I saw all kinds. And then you get exposed to new kinds of people when you get jobs. And I would say, as a world-class speaker, if you're going to be a speaker, if you're going to join any sort of new venture in your life, you get to expose yourself to people outside of your tribe. You get to honor a new way, honor always, always honor always. I like the way that sounds. I'm sure I'm not the first person who said it, but I like it. Okay, so what are the lessons? Make friends with speakers. If you want to become a speaker, make friends with speakers, because they've been there. They know what they're doing. Learn from them. And they know where you would probably be a good fit to speak on stages. Like, you don't exactly always know. You're like, I think I want to speak there. And that's like a bunch of grandma and grandpas. And you want to help like teenagers. And you're like, wait a minute, I thought that, no. So if you know people, we're in the business of relationships in life. Period. So if you build relationships, and I really believe if you want to be a world-class speaker, if you want to be a world-class anything, then align with those who are doing the things that you want to do. Get a coach, you know. I mean, that's really, get friends, join a group, you know, do the things, get around the people, and then you'll start being like, I wasn't thinking like they were thinking. That's why I'm not there. Okay, now I can see why, or like the pathway to get where I want to go, because they're a certain way, and that makes sense. It just makes sense. Okay, Gordon said, who doesn't like root beer and hot dogs, right? Work up. Ooh, I've never heard, I've never heard that, or I've never thought about that. Network up. Yeah, I mean, there's, Jim Rohn, I forget who said it. It's escaping me, but that we are the conglomeration of the 5 people we surround ourselves with most. And that's a big deal. I have an accountability partner, Al Ingalls, who's beautiful. I talk to 5 days a week. I have a beautiful business coach. I have a strategy coach. I have a speaking coach. I have, wonderful friends. A Chihuahua is like the one I spend the most time with, and I think his soul's pretty pure. I know. I mean, he gets a little sassy sometimes, but so does Mama. So that's good. Okay, exactly. So lesson number 1: make friends with speakers. Make friends with the people. If you want to be a global anything, make friends with those people. Number 2: have fun. Honestly, this should be number 1. Why do we forget? My name is Lila, and I'm a recovering serious-aholic. All right? Please call me out if you see me on the street. Don't let me get addicted to the seriosity again. Okay? Please, I'll help you out too if you want. I'm here for you. Give me a little heart. Give me a little I'm done with the seriosity. I don't even know if that's a word. Let's claim it. Seriously though, I brought out my hula hoop. Look, I got a little hula hoop for you, because this is the kind of energy that's going to bring forward the kind of people you want to be around. Nobody wants to be around somebody too serious. Let's bring the fun. Okay, so lesson number 1, make friends with speakers. Lesson number 2, have fun. Nobody wants to buy from somebody on stage. Nobody wants to hear from somebody on stage. Nobody wants to go to a presentation that's not fun. Have some sort of fun. It's just true. People are too serious in their life already. They need you to bring it. They need you to lighten up their life with a little fun. Me, I'm talking to myself right here. They need me to bring my fun. My name's Lila. The reason I said that is because I was born with the name Lillian Veronica. And I love that name. It's beautiful. I always loved my name. And yet it was serious. I was pretty serious. I was always told I was very mature. She's very mature. As a child, she's very mature. She's so mature. and that, that first 34 years of my life, I was pretty mature. I was still and then I would drink, and then I'd be a wild child. So it was like this weird mix. And it wasn't a line. It was like there was something missing. When I came to Denver, I took on the name Lila. I'll tell you that story another time. I love the story. It's beautiful. It's divine. But Lila in Sanskrit, and I'm on this more, yogi path of sorts. Lila in Sanskrit means divine play. And I've been in breathwork workshops. I've heard the sound of the divine voice say, we gave you the name Lila. Now use it. And now I get to be, on these stages and speak alongside world-class speakers and learn how to up-level my game and that's the next one. Get rid of the shit. Right? Sincere but not serious. Oh, that's so heartfelt. Yeah, come from the heart. That's actually one of them. Did you go to this weekend event, Jonathan? Yeah, be you. Okay, so get rid of the shit and be you. So it's really it's part of it. It's like there are things holding us back and we don't even know it. It's okay. I'm going to tell you a little story. I got vulnerable this weekend, and we all did the entire weekend. It was beautiful. But I had an opportunity to ask somebody for a speaking engagement. like say to her, like, hey, you said there's a place you think I can speak. Would you mind if I sent my information or get the phone number? Something to like make the move to get on the stage. And I didn't do it. And I called myself out. That day or the next day or something, I called myself out. I said, I realized I had this opportunity and I didn't take the step to actually make it happen. What's that about? Like, what is that? And women do that a lot. People do that. Women do that a lot. Like, okay, girl, I'll call you. Okay, let's talk. Okay, let's email. Okay. And it's like 6 months later. You ain't got nothing on the calendar, girl. I'm not in that game anymore. I'm not in that game. I'm not in that game. I'm on the game of, we're going to talk about it. Let's make it happen. There's no reason not to. Otherwise, it's just blowing smoke and wasting time. And that's what we have. Time is our precious commodity. So I'm not going to waste it. I'm not going to waste it by saying, oh, yeah, let's do this, da, 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 da. So I called myself out. And what I realized was this, okay? I had shit. I had this feeling as if I asked her to do this thing and she didn't do it, I was going to be disappointed. Because and it was like, boom, this memory came into my mind. I'm going to be really vulnerable with you right now and share this. This feels very... Take a breath. It's simple it will sound simple to you, but to me it was a big deal. Yeah, so I didn't want to ask this woman. I didn't want to make the move, right, to get on her stage. And I felt this memory come up of I had a really hard childhood. With my mother was very abusive, and she didn't cook, and I didn't like that because I like healthy food. And I wanted a carrot cake for my birthday. And I remember being on my 17th birthday wanting a carrot cake. And I wanted her to make me a cake. So I asked. And I did not ask for things. I asked for a cake. Okay? And she said she would. And I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get a carrot. My mom's going to make me a carrot cake. Okay? And my birthday came, right? And I did not get a carrot cake. I got a cake. It was a cute little cake with a frog on it from the shop down the street. It was a fantastic shop, right? My mom didn't want to put effort into making a cake. That's not her. It wasn't her interest. She was not interested in putting effort forward. And so I held on to this shit about carrot cake from like freaking 20 years ago. And didn't ask for a speaking engagement. Like didn't make it happen. And so no more. That's the point. If you're going to be a world class, you have to get beyond the things that hold you back. And me included. I'm in the game every day. There's always things that I'm going to notice that I'm like, oh, how about that? That's so interesting. No more. Live bigger, live bolder. Okay. So lesson number 1 is make friends with speakers. Align with the people who are supporting your vision. You know, align with the world-class people, whether that's speakers or friends or whatever. The people who are really there for you to help rise you up and are doing the same. Have fun. Have fun. And like Jonathan brought forward, be you. Be you. That's the hardest thing in life, I think, for most people, most of us. They like to truly be us all the time. And there was a huge lesson I'll share on a personal level. Woo! I mean, I'm going to share everybody else and they'll share me. Yeah. I'm not going to share personal stories, but I'm going to share the spectrum. Was everything from, childhood trauma that had happened that was coming up to just, insecurity about where people were right now. Like, am I good enough to do this? I was in the speaker training. And what came up for me big time with this in terms of like, how can I be more me was, and I had a friend say this, I'm like, woo. She said, I had a friend say recently, she goes, you're holding you back and we need you to be bigger. We need you to be you, because if you're not you, we can't be us. I was like, what, girl, I'm just trying to chill here. No. She's like, it's not time for that. You got to be bigger. And that's what I learned on stage. It's like in my normal interactions, I'm pretty animated. I'm pretty big and bold and, And when I get on stage, I like want to, I don't want to put anybody off. I'm a lot of energy. That's the past story, right? So the idea is, how can I be more me? It's pretty big. I mean, there's plenty of people who are big. They freaking jump up and down and go wild and crazy, and they're well loved. Okay, it's not, you can be you. And if you want to be, I'm gonna give you an example of 2 speakers. Tony Robbins. That man can talk for hours, sweat dripping off his brow. He's back in the back, jumping on his trampoline. Ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. If you guys know Tony Robbins, this is what he does right before jumps on the trampoline. Okay. And then he goes out there and he gives it. Intense, big man, big face, big voice, big messages, big crowds. Okay. And then big crowds, similar and transformational impact can happen. Maybe even more, just, depends on the person. With Eckhart Tolle. And for anybody who's ever seen Eckhart Tolle, and I'm just like giggling because I'm pausing. I'm like, maybe I should bring in Eckhart Tolle energy more often, because I'm kind of totally digging it right now. It feels actually really good. So I'm going to honor Eckhart Tolle right now, honor this moment. Yeah, so to be a world-class speaker, you just need to be you, whether that be bing, 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 high, big energy like Tony Robbins, super relaxed, peaceful, in the moment as much as, humanly possible, it would seem. That's Eckhart Tolle. And my energy is playful, big, and bold, a little sassy. I'm scared to bring out the sass, honestly. I have sass, and that's what people like about me when I do the little head shake and tell people what's up and bring out a little Xena warrior princess. But I'm a little scared to do that in front of, even right here, I can feel myself holding back. And I can feel myself holding back on stage and in front of people and all sorts of places. So what a beautiful way to like bring it out. And I'm not quite sure, because I'm still processing from the weekend. I'm not quite sure what that's going to look like. I don't think it's going to look that much different to you guys. I think what's going to look like, more than anything, I'm just going to slow down talking, I feel like. I feel that right now. I have a feeling I might just slow down, and that might actually be a bigger thing for me, because talking fast and shoveling information down somebody's throat is pretty easy, but pausing and feeling words is quite difficult for me. So I think I said this yesterday, I'm going to continue practicing with that. So if anybody's with me, Jonathan, he said, bring the sass. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's challenging. In some ways, it just depends. It depends on who I'm around. So I appreciate that, and I'm going to play with that energy. I'm going to play with the sassy energy, because it's in me and it's fun, and it's not by any means ill intention. It's meant to bring light to uncomfortable truths. Honestly, usually it's some sort of like bringing some sort of humor to something. And Gordon says, I struggle with being big. Ah, I get that. Thank you. I hadn't thought about that, Gordon. Totally makes sense. So it's like, I try to make myself small, even though I have been described as larger than life. Yeah, I would love to continue that conversation with you, because, I'm a small woman, like size-wise, honestly, like I'm small, but I have a lot of personality and energy, and the way I carry myself. And so I have a lot of people. I have men, not just like men interested in me, like men just in general, like men who are in engineering and, all of these things that are, and they'll tell me, they're like, I've never been intimidated by a woman, but you intimidate me. And I have people this weekend, it's very clear. So I'm like, is that me? And it was really clear this weekend that, like, yeah, maybe sometimes, but I have to be okay with that. It's interesting. It's a new journey. It's a new journey, friends. So I'd be interested in knowing, from the time you had your first job till now, Like, how many jobs do you think you've had? I'm going to just take a guess right now how many I've had. I've probably had like 50. If you count all of like the little things I've done along the way. I mean, little teeny things. I mean, I've tried a lot of things that haven't worked. I've done some things that have made like $10 that I thought would make thousands. Yeah, so I'd be curious, have you only had like maybe 4 jobs and you've been like really consistent about the one kind of, you've always known what you wanted to do, or have you done like a variety of things? I'm curious. I've done a variety of things, and many people have said you're a woman of many lifetimes. And so what I would say that I'm kind of all over the place tonight. I can feel it, and I want to apologize if you're not following along. You're much larger than me, Gordon said. Thanks, baby. It's funny. I love it, right? I mean, like physically, but that's what I've been thinking about a lot lately too. I'm totally going off topic, and it's okay because we got a conversation here. That's what I love about Facebook Live. It's two-way. So I've just been looking at people, right? Really trying to connect with people, heart energy more. Just be with people. Just honor them as a human, but just see them as energy. Like looking at them like, huh. Like, no matter what size you are, your elbow still feels like an elbow. You still feel like a person. There's no like difference in the way you feel. Like you're a person. A person is a person is a person. It's not like a bigger person feels like gray and a small person feels red. It's like they're both people. Their elbow still feels like their elbow. They're just energy inside a particular size. It's like a hula hoop. Nobody judges a big hula hoop versus a little hula hoop. It's really been fascinating to me to feel into this. I'm just interested in hearing, does this make any sense to you guys? Because it's fascinating to me, like when I start looking at humans this way and saying like, and maybe it's because I'm feeling my own energy so much more. That's exactly what it is. I'm like, I'm a small lady, but everywhere I go, everybody's like, whoa, I can feel you. You're like this. I'm like, how the hell has this happened? Just who I am. I do a lot of work, and I'll share with you. If you guys want any support, I'm here for you. You know, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, really socially conscious entrepreneurs, people who are wanting to make a difference in the world. Honestly, they typically have some sort of global vision. And most of my clients are authors, speakers, coaches, therapists, people who want to make a shift in the world. And what happens is you have to make a shift in yourself, your energy state, your body, your mind, your soulfulness, we'll call it. That's what as within, so without, right? We have to change ourselves if we want to change the world. We have heard that. I'm done it. I'm doing it. I'm in the game, right? And so that's why I work with people who are in that space. You know, I spent years doing environmental policy, environmental science. I care so much about the planet, honestly. I cared so much about politics. I cared so much about people, communities. I was like, ah! And what I learned was it's not about that as much as it is the people, the individual. So I was like, I got to change myself. I got to get myself straight. And I don't know if I'm straight. I'm still a little curvy, right? But I have found basically how to find presence in my life, how to own my own value, how to create revenue and a business that's successful and reaches people on different continents. It's like, you know, this is what it takes to be a world-class speaker. I think even it's not about just getting up on stage and being like, wah, wah, blah, blah, look at me, standing ovation. Like, no, that's not, I don't want to be a speaker like that. I want to be a relationship speaker, a transformational speaker, somebody who's like there for people, who's there to say, hey, like, I'm going to give you something to help you out. And if you want to continue working with me, you can. And I really believe like that's what it takes to be world class, is the opportunity to create relationships with people that are, you know, even if it's just that one time you speak with them, really create a relationship, not about giving a great speech. It's not, I don't really feel like it's about that anymore in the world, unless you're at like Oprah or at a commencement speech or something. But nobody really wants to hear you just rah. in front of the stage anymore. Okay, I'm gonna go over the lessons again because I've been kind of all over the place. I really appreciate your time this evening, and if you're watching this later, I love you lots too. Jonathan said, there is a field of energy we all emit, and that's more important than physical size from my experience. It's what we can feel, right? Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that forward. There's a field of energy we all emit. Yeah, and that's more important than physical size. We all know this because there's some people that feel small and some people feel big, and we can feel people from afar even. And I would say, like, we can feel people even from not in the same room. Like, you'll just think of somebody. That's energy. It comes from somewhere. It doesn't come from nowhere. It's coming from somewhere, right? There's this energy flowing maybe between you. Or one person thinks about the other person, and the person thinks about that person. It's like, I'm gonna pick up the phone and call them. Oh, my little scarf's coming down. Look, now I look like a nun or something. Okay. Enough with the scarf. I was trying to make myself look prettier because I didn't want to get prettied up. How's that for a funny thing? All right. Lessons to be a world-class speaker are this. Make friends with speakers. The first. And the second is have fun. Don't forget to have fun. Okay? Your audience wants to see you have fun. Whether you're speaking in front of one person, 2 people, or 10,000 people. They want to see you have fun. Be you. How do you be you? Get rid of your stuff. Whatever's holding you back. Your money stories, your people stories. Stories from the past, anything, new slate. Why not? Try it out. And the last one is be excited about what you have to offer. And I'm working on this. It's like I'm a little bit shy about sharing, that I'm a business coach. I don't know why. Like I don't know why I don't tell you guys that. I always tell you guys about yoga and stuff, but I don't tell you about being a business coach. That's what my business is mostly. It's like 99% business coaching. And body coaching too, but all my clients pretty much are entrepreneurs or visionaries or people who want to make a difference in the world. And for whatever reason, I get shy about sharing that with you. And it's like, I don't know why, because it's like changing lives, and it's like their entire lives are changing. Clients that I've worked with, I'm going to pause because I'm going to say that for another video. All right. It's going to be exciting. Right now, I'm going to give you guys so much love, so many blessings. And if you need support in even feeling your whole energy state, consider doing some breath work tonight or whenever you're watching this video. Don't do it when you're driving because you might get dizzy, but just simple breath where you breathe in through the nose, just to start. Breathe in through the nose. Let your breath come in, feel it in your throat and your heart down to your belly. And it might take 10, 20, 3 breaths, you don't know, but to get down to your belly. But just let your inhale come in through your nose and then your exhale come out through your mouth, letting your whole body fill up with breath. Feels really good. Try it out. Thank you, Lila. Gordon says, thank you, Gordon. So many blessings to everybody out there this evening. I hope you have a wonderful night's rest and dreams of unicorns, rainbows, and puppy dogs. All right? Blessings. Namaste.